welcome back to, Midnight Oil. I feel like today I'm Tab.
Yeah, I think I'm also Keegan.
Okay, cool. I'm
Yeah.
glad we're on the same page. But yeah, so today we're talking about the European witch trials. We're not gonna bleed into Salem yet, but Europe apparently had a lot of stuff going on that I wasn't aware of at all until I saw somebody post on Twitter about it. Or X, my bad. Posted on X about it, whatever. But yeah.
I also didn't know about it until you told me.
See?
So,
Exactly. And so I feel like not many people know that Europe actually had their own set of witch trials, which is blowing my mind. And
yeah.
I was pretty sure it was before the Salem witch trials. Like, they're the ones that kicked it off. So, of course, they don't give credit to the OGs whenever they're
Never.
talking about history. They're like, oh,
Never.
witch trials? Yeah, that was Salem. Duh. No, actually, Europe did it first. Give them credit where credit's due.
That's right.
But
We
also, the witch trials were horrible. So, like,
It was all bad. I know that.
yeah.
I know the Salem witch trials were bad. But that's not what we're talking about yet.
Yet.
Today is about the European witch trials, which I also agree it's insane that any of the witch trials happened, and I'm super excited to learn about it because I know nothing about it. Also, you're going to be a little confused because what day is it? Wednesday. Why are we posting on Wednesday, you may ask? Well, without making this a 10-hour episode with me babbling and babbling, simply put, we are going to start, drum roll please, we are going to start releasing 2 episodes a week. Woo! Yay!
Yay!
So the episode on Wednesday, or it might be Tuesday. I'm not sure on the definitive day yet, but we have decided that we really, really, really love this. We want to really commit more time to it, and I just think we straight up enjoy it. We were talking about it, and basically, we're just gonna start doing these every single week, but they're gonna be shorter episodes that wrap into the main episode every week. If that makes any sense to you, amazing. We have the same types of brain. If not, you'll understand as it happens. But Tab, you have actually done a little bit of research. Why don't you kind of kick us off? Like, what are the witch trials? Why did they happen?
Yeah, so it was practically the same basis. It was based under like misogyny and fuck women and religion, of course. And a lot of people were obsessed with just like witches for some reason. It was really weird. We'll get into one of the people that were really obsessed with it a little bit later on.
When you say witches, can you go into what these witches are? Because I think there's maybe not a common misconception, but when people think of witches, they think like Harry Potter style. Usually, I feel like at this where
Or
we
like
are in time.
the green witches with the
Yeah,
long noses, the
yeah, exactly.
hags.
Like super stereotypical. So like, are what were the witches back then? Like, what were they described as?
So I'm pretty sure most of the witches were quite literally just defined as women that potentially had something to do with like the crops not doing good that year or financial struggles or anybody that kind of threatened the people that were in power that they thought like, oh, they don't come to church every week and our crops are doing bad, yeah, has to be a fucking witch. And so it was commonly believed that the witches were harming the crops, harming the livestock, just harming quite literally anything in the economy that they were in. So they
But
must have been practicing
in
witchcraft.
in reality, they were simply just women who did not want to conform to whatever society they were in.
Yeah. Very much that. So
Awesome.
goofy. But
Good
yes,
old misogyny.
literally, like that's all it was. But it's claimed that Germany had the highest number of trials and executions due to fragmented political states and local religious fervor, which I actually have no idea what the word fervor means.
I think it means
Um,
like
intense and
fervor.
passionate feeling.
Mm, yeah, that's kind of not what I was gonna say. So I'm glad that you said that.
So I guess people that weren't as passionate as religion were targeted. It's the I don't know how to I can't speak German, but the Wurzburg and the Bamberg. Yeah, I don't know. They were the big trials in the early 17th century, and they were particularly infamous. Why? That's a great question. They killed a lot of people. It was during the Holy Roman Empire in present-day Germany.
Wow, a
Yeah.
long time ago.
Oh, so these trials actually, they weren't executions of just women. They were all ages, all sexes, and all classes. And they were all burned
Whoa!
at the stake. And beheaded! Whoa, 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 whoa,
Wow.
whoa.
Hey, they at least Europe had very diverse executions.
I guess so, but why did they go after the men? Because
Or
it's
the
usually,
kids,
like, yeah, I mean,
children. That's
so valid.
crazy.
So valid.
What if a baby? What if a baby was like just shouting nonsense as like
Goo
a
goo
2-year-old or
gaga.
3-year-old?
Abracadabra.
They're like, a witch!
Witch!
Off
That's
with the
crazy.
baby's head!
That is crazy.
No, that's crazy. That is actually insane.
It did start out with women, though. Poor working class women, to be exact. But
Mm,
then they expanded to men and children because they were just like, fuck them. Fuck them, I guess.
that does. I mean, that makes. I guess it makes sense. That's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. So these poor people just simply didn't agree with like living standards, politics, religion, and instead of like being able to like protest or, gather like groups of people that thought the same way as they do or didn't necessarily agree with how things were going, they were just beheaded.
Mm-hmm.
That's insanity.
Yeah. It seemed to be the key drivers, at least in Germany, seemed to be political instability, religious wars, and local rulers using the witch trials to assert authority.
And what years? What year did you say they started in or are reported?
1626 to 1631.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And that
So
was just the Germany trials.
not even like that long.
Mm-mm.
They were like, nope, we took care of all of them. They're gone.
I mean, there was 25,000 executions. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Which
That's,
back then is a lot. 500 years ago, 25,000 people was like a significant amount of people.
mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, today I'm not saying that today it's not, but like the population was significantly less than it is today, and that's such a crazy number.
Mm-hmm. Very much that. That was Germany's. So it was just like a quick tidbit on Germany. Next, we're moving to Scotland. Theirs happened in 1563.
Pause.
And yeah.
I promise it's the only tangent. You want to take a guess how many people there were in the 1500s?
Probably like 200,000.
Well, no, but
500,000?
like 500 million people compared to the 7 or 8 billion people we have now.
Oh, I
It's
was
still crazy. 200.
200,000. I mean, shit. I was thinking like just in Germany, but like fair enough.
Oh. I was like, you have guessed the population of China.
No,
Probably
fair
not.
enough.
I have no idea.
Oh, that's
But
goofy.
yeah, no, literally not a whole lot of people. Like 25,000 was like a good chunk of the population then.
That's insane. Damn. They executed a lot of people in Germany.
So
Germany's
many
got a really
people
dark past.
in the 1500s in Germany. How many people? 12 million people in Germany.
Interesting. That adds up because I think that was before like people dispersed out of Europe and like went to colonize other countries.
I think we'll have to do an episode on colonization or something.
True.
That'd be cool.
That'd be interesting.
Well, yeah, yeah.
We can do like the Tea Party, right?
Mm.
What was that actually called? Was it actually called the Tea Party?
Are you talking about the Boston Tea Party?
Yeah, there we go. There it is.
That, my friend, was simply about taxation.
Yeah. But didn't that like didn't that like push people to leave? Like wasn't that what started?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it may have also, yeah, it may have also been a driving factor in colonization. I'll give you that. I have no idea, but I think that was in like the 17 or 1800s.
Uh, we'll have to dive into it some other day.
Yeah. 1773.
Oh, okay. Slay. Yeah, so number 2 is Scotland. The Scottish Witchcraft Act was in 1563. It criminalized witchcraft, fueling nationwide trials. So that was kind of insane. But this is the dude that I was talking about that was obsessed with witches and witchcraft. King James VI. What was that? Is that
6.
King James 6? He was a believer in witchcraft. He actually wrote Demonology in 1597, and it was advocating for witch hunting. So
Mm.
in Scotland, they had the North Berwick witch trials. That was in 1590. That was the first large scale witch trials where 70 individuals were accused of attempting to kill the king through storms at sea.
What?
Yeah.
So they
It,
just thought these guys, hey, these guys are in the water coming to kill the king?
I want to assume they were like, oh, these witches are summoning these storms, and
Mm.
the storms are about to kill the king. Because he was like, they're out to get me. They're trying to kill me. And so that's why he was like, no, we gotta execute some witches.
And he believed in it, though.
Yeah.
So he was like, well, maybe he was like, these are violent witches. They're not the peaceful kind that I want. I, don't- I wonder
I
what his
don't
thought
know.
process was.
I don't know if he believed that they were a good thing. He just believed that they were real and needed to die.
Mm. So he was just a believer that
Mm-hmm.
didn't like that it was happening,
Oh,
as it
shit.
seems.
His fucking book was written as like a philosophical dissertation on contemporary necromancy and the
What
historical relationships between the various methods of divination used from ancient black magic.
is he? Is this the King James, or a relative of the King James that wrote the King James version of the Bible?
I don't know. That's actually a really good question.
I don't know how to.
He also wrote about demons. He classified demons.
He classified like what they are.
So it says he wrote a classification of demons.
Hmm.
Bro was deep. He was onto something.
Very deep. That's crazy.
Is this so? I've always heard a rumor of like, I can't find it, but I was told about it. There was a book that was written with the Bible that is a little more darker and like sinister than the Bible, but it kind of explains demons and shit in a little more crazy
Uh,
way. I don't know how
uh,
to. But every time I've tried to Google it, like I was never able to find it. Is
so
this
it's
the
like,
fucking book? I
hmm. So it's kind of like the Bible, but not really, or
have no idea. Oh, a fun fact about this book that he wrote, though. William Shakespeare actually used it as one of his main sources when writing Macbeth.
pause. When was William Shakespeare alive? Because this is like messing with my time scale.
1564 to 1616.
Whoa.
Yeah, bro's old.
Wow. Okay. So wait, hold on. So Shakespeare was around the same time as the European witch trials?
It appears so, yeah.
Whoa, that's crazy. That's crazy.
How was he not classified as a witch? Well, he was like a
Shakespeare?
kid, though, probably. Yeah, Shakespeare.
Yeah, but they were executing them kids, so
True? So why wasn't Shakespeare a witch?
I think isn't hold on, legendary memory pool happening as we speak. Wasn't there a character in one of Shakespeare's plays? I think it was Romeo and Juliet that was a witch. No, I think I'm
I
thinking
mean,
about the apothecary person, which is
you
not a
also
witch.
could literally just be thinking of his whole play Macbeth was about a witch. Or
Oh,
witches, I think.
that's true. Yeah, that one. Let's pretend I said that.
I'm fucking weak. No, that's funny. But yeah, so that was Scotland. Go Scotland. Yeah.
Scotland.
Scotland. Moving on to France, though. France didn't execute as many people as they did in Germany, but it was more so the
Oh,
rural areas
there
of
you go.
France that saw the trials. The Loudun possessions in 1634. It was a famous case where a group of nuns accused a priest, Urbain Grandier, of demonic possession and witchcraft. The trial was politically motivated, involving Cardinal Richelieu, 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 Richelieu.
Rich
I don't know.
Richelieu?
Yeah, it beats me.
I got nothing.
Yeah. The legal context. France's centralized judicial system under the Parliament of Paris reduced the number of witch executions compared to less centralized regions. I feel like none of that actually made sense.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. At least it makes a little bit of sense in my brain, kind of.
Well, at least it makes sense to you. That
Well,
was
okay.
France.
So say it again.
France's centralized judicial system under the Parliament of Paris reduced the number of witch executions compared to less centralized regions.
Oh, so they basically just had a policy in place that said, "Hey, there's a lot of people being executed for being a witch. Maybe we should look into that." Essentially, and there was probably some like policy put in place or something along those lines.
In theory.
Maybe.
Mm. I have no idea. Number four, Switzerland. Switzerland had some shit going on too. There's a lot. Europe was going through it back in the
Bro,
day.
1700s, everyone was going through it. I'm sure there's
No, yeah.
terrible things that have happened.
This goes earlier. We're in the 14s now, though.
Oh, like Christopher Columbus times.
Yeah. I guess so. Oh, yeah, that song. That one song. Sailed the Ocean Blue. I don't know. I don't know the song, actually. I just kind of
In
gaslit you.
1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
Yeah, that one. There you go. But they had some of the highest per capita witch executions, especially in the Protestant regions. So they had the Valias witch trials. That was 1428 through 1447. And they were among the earliest large scale trials in Europe, predating the widespread hysteria, which is really interesting because the book that really kicked it all off didn't even come out until 1430, which we'll get into that here in a little bit. But basically, Switzerland, they executed people because of societal tensions, including class struggles and religious conflicts, often manifested as witch hunting. So, yeah, they were basically like, fuck those poor people, fuck those people who don't agree with our Protestant beliefs. You're a witch. Die.
Yep. Yep. That's
That's just
very
crazy.
cool of them.
These
Very neat.
fucking witch trials are just insane to think about.
It's just crazy the things that people in the past were probably executed for that we may not even know about is
No, yeah.
probably like disgustingly bad.
Didn't people get like their fingers and hands chopped off for stealing back in the day?
Oh, yeah, they still do.
Oh,
There's definitely countries where if you like get arrested and they're like, "Hey yo, like what are you doing? Why are you doing this?" Like some of them don't even have like a three strikes you're out rule. It's just hey, your fingers and or hands or body parts are mine.
that's
Like it's
crazy.
but I don't think it's because they're like out of touch or anything. I think it's just because that's just how their laws are.
Yeah.
Because I think it like reduces crime or something. I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't commit. I definitely wouldn't be committing crimes if they're taking fingers.
No, absolutely not.
I don't care what the crime is. I don't want to lose any of my like pinkies or something.
Fuck no. That would be some shit.
That's
That would be some
terrible.
shit. So the very last country or countries region, yeah, the very last region that we're getting into is the Scandinavian countries. So in Scandinavia, witch hunting was less severe, but it was still significant, with Denmark, Sweden, and Norway holding several notable trials during this time period. These words, the Torsaker witch trial, Torsaker witch trials in Sweden. It was in 1675. It was one of the largest single witch trials where 71 people were beheaded and burned in a single day.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Which this one, so in Scandinavia, they had like different beliefs on witches because they were actually in Scandinavian folklore. The witches were often accused of flying to gatherings at Blakula. It was a mythical place and were believed to use magic to harm crops and livestock. So they actually had like folklore based on witches.
That's insanity. Well, that's
Yeah.
so crazy. So you have some people that are like which is bad because religion. You have some people that are like which is bad they don't agree with us. And then you have people like which is good they are like we believe in them and they're amazing. Like it's so crazy that the different oh my gosh. Just the way the world works is crazy.
No, yeah.
I know I say that literally every episode we learn something, but it's so true. It's literally so true.
Like different beliefs are so cool to learn about because like everybody believes something different
Yeah.
nowadays and even back then.
It's just nuts that there are conflicts over so many different things.
Yeah. But diving into the book that was previously mentioned, it was written by Heinrich Kramer. In 1487, he wrote Malleus Maleficarum. Sure. Yeah. The book laid out methods for identifying, prosecuting, and punishing witches. So, dude laid the framework. But his book was based on misogyny and harshness against women, obviously. And it was criticized whenever he wrote it. But then it started becoming influential in shaping all of the European witch hunting practices. So, like, what the fuck?
That's I just don't I will never understand how views are just so different other than like religion and like politics.
Mm hmm.
That's just so crazy.
No, literally. There was another person that kind of influenced witch hunting as well. His name was Matthew Hopkins. He was known as the Witchfinder General in England. Oh, good lord. He goes all the way back to the English Civil War, which I didn't even know that they had one, but like pop off.
Yeah,
And he can
bro, it's probably everywhere.
I mean, yeah. civil wars are bound to happen, to be
Yeah,
honest.
because the second one group is like, hey, I don't agree with like what we're doing or like these policies or something. It's crazy. And like I don't know. There's probably civil wars all the time at this time period because like you said there's a bunch of expansion going on. Literally like people want land, people want power, people want money. It's
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
No, yeah. People want influence. That's probably the biggest thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he conducted a series of witch hunts in East Anglia, and he executed over 100 people. And he used
Wow.
techniques like the swimming test, which I assume, from just hearing about some of the previous witch trials, I assume that's when they tie like rocks to people's feet and throw them in water, and if they somehow survive, they're witches. So either you die and you're not a witch, but you're still dead, or you live and you are a witch, so they kill you. But I could be wrong, to be honest. And he
I think
also
that's
used
yeah.
sleep deprivation as like form of confession. Let me see what the swimming test was. Yeah, so accused witches were dragged to the nearest body of water, stripped to their undergarments, bound, and then tossed in to see if they would sink or float.
Oh,
Since witches were believed to have spurned the sacrament of baptisms, it was thought that the water would reject their bodies and prevent them from submerging.
really
So,
kind of them.
yeah. So if you if you float, you die. If you sink, you also die. So like what?
That's terrible.
It's a
Oh,
lose-lose
yeah,
for
that's just
anybody that got subjected to a swimming test.
that's awful.
Yeah.
There's no out. I guess that it's basically just like the death penalty.
Mhm.
That sucks. That's terrible. Could you
Yeah.
imagine? Drowning sounds like it's terrible, by the way.
I that's like my number one worst way to go. Or burning alive. Burning alive and drowning.
I don't know. Oh, I don't think either of them sound particularly enjoyable, but I think I don't like not being able to breathe. That
Yeah.
sounds super uncomfortable. I think I'd rather like feel the pain because
No.
I don't know. I don't know. That's terrible
Very much that. Those were the
though.
two most influential ones, other than, of course, the King James that wrote that book, and the French Catholic priest that was accused of demonic possession and witchcraft at the same time.
mm,
Yeah.
damn,
So
that's
they were
terrible.
there's the European witch trials, everybody. Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, that's actually terrible. I can't wait for the
The
main
Salem.
episode. This is gonna be actually awful.
Oh, good lord.
It's just terrible the way that people were treated back then.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not probably any better now, but
You could make
it's just bad.
some comparisons of similarities to modern day, I'm
Absolutely.
sure.
Absolutely. But yeah, that's I think that's where we stop. We
Yeah,
just
I
wanted to
mean,
like give I think the general reasoning for these is just to kind of one get more podcast episodes out because we really enjoy it, and two kind of like alluding to what the main episode's going to be like during the end of the week. So,
yeah. So you
I'm
could
really
probably
excited.
kind of guess where we're going for the Friday episode.
And yeah, like I said, these are going to be like kind of shorter. We are likely going to try and keep these under definitely under 45 minutes, but probably more like 30 minutes. So if you don't have the time to listen to any of the main episodes, or you know you like listening to them all in one sitting and you can't, or whatever the reason may be, maybe you'll enjoy these a little more. They're going to be more informational than me, which is also going to be why Tab will probably be talking much more than I am in these episodes, simply because I will be yapping. And before we started recording, I was like, you know what? I can't even talk about some of these things because it's going to leak into the episode, and then it's going to become a 45-minute episode. And we said we didn't want to do that, so.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the vibe we're gonna be giving, and let us know how you like it. I guess.
Yeah, think of these as like quick facts. Here's a brief overview, and then the main episode is where we kind of dive deep.
Agreed.
Yep.
But yeah, we will see you guys all on Friday. Do you have anything? That felt good.
No, yeah.
I liked it.
Other than hit the Patreon up because this episode is probably gonna be so trimmed that you'll probably want to hear the uncut version. So make sure you hit that Patreon up.
That's
We'd love to
right.
have you.
All of the uncut content. It's amazing. Go, well, okay. Depends on who you are. But yeah, definitely go check out the Patreon. We actually have 2 Patreon members, and we will not be forgetting to shout them out at the end of each episode, which we will be doing right now. So shout out Zaid/Agrode, which is a homie, right?
Yep,
Shout out
slay.
to Dakota, which is actually my partner.
Slay.
And shout out Tab for signing up as a free member.
Thank you. I do what I can.
Which there is also a free option on the Patreon. So if you are unable to sign up with any sort of financial currency, you can still check some stuff out. That's where we mainly post updates and stuff, or will be posting updates and stuff until we have decided that we have a big enough community and start like a Discord or a Reddit or something. So yeah,
Thanks.
that's the European Witch Trials, and we're gonna see you all on Friday. For you can probably guess it, but I'm not gonna say it. Nighties.
Good night.